Ladies and gentlemen, mga kaibigan, let's all welcome Maoi Arroyo.
Hi! Hi! Hi, everybody! Hi, Rose! Good morning!
Yes, good morning at good day. Kasi depende kung saan sila nanonood ngayon,
Oh,
ano?
good day!
Uy,
Malay
salamat
natin,
ha.
nagka-cocktail sila.
Oo nga,
Diba?
ako minsan. Yung
It's
iba
5
siguro
o'clock
naka-lunch
somewhere.
break. Yes, that's
Oh.
right. So, Maui, I watched your videos. I was telling you kanina, off-cam pa tayo. Natutuwa ako the way you talk to dun sa Stanford dito, no? Bongga, no?
Yes.
Stanford lang naman ang audience mo. I love the way you introduced yourself. You started with sino ba ako, 'di ba? So pwede bang ibahagi mo rin sa amin yung ganong klaseng pagkukwento tungkol sa iyo para magkaroon ng background yung mga viewers natin. Sino ba si Maui? Bakit nga ba siya nagpa-profit with a purpose? The floor is yours.
Naks naman. After that introduction, grabe that introduction, my mother would have believed it, and my father would have enjoyed it, diba? Pero my mom was my biggest fan. But, I was adopted from Heart of Mary Villa in Malabon when I was 6 weeks old, and I was adopted by my father, Joker Arroyo, the late Senator Joker Arroyo.
One of my favorites.
Thank you. One of my favorites. What a coincidence. My favorite also. Dapat lang.
Di ba yung hair niya, hair ni Joker Arroyo, yun
Oh
ang
my
parang
gosh.
naging ano niya. Ay, nalungkot ka?
Hindi ako nalungkot. Naisip ko lang na never niya talagang sinusuklay. Lord, papaway. Diba? So, my dad was a human rights lawyer. He was a public servant for 30 years. My mom naman is Audie Gregorio Arroyo of Greg Shoes. For those of you who remember, baka yung school shoes niyo, Greg Shoes. So, I'm a third generation entrepreneur also. Because we grew up in the family business, no? Because clue, walang pera sa human rights law. So it was really my mom who was
makukulong ka pa.
Oh, makukulong ka pa, di ba? Kailangan bigyan ng, tapos bored ka doon, so kailangan mo magbigyan ng comics, hindi, bawal kasi newspaper, di ba? So comics, kung ano, di ba? Libro,
wait,
diba?
comics pwede. Comics at libro pwede. Newspaper hindi.
Ano naman makukuha mong pagka-rebelde kay Archie, di ba? Siya hindi naman Archie. Pero di ba, I don't know what they gave my dad
Wakasan. Alam mo ba yun?
Wakasan? Oh my God. Di pa ata uso yung wakasan doon.
Uy, uso yun. Naalala ko nung bata kami. Galit na galit yung mamang ko. Ayaw niya na, pero si Papang, nako, konsentidor. Binibili kami ng mga wakasan. Anyway, sige, go ahead.
So, but so from my father I got my love of country, no, and from my mother and our family business I got my love of creating value, no, yung pagnenegosyo talaga na hindi na yung pagnenegosyo hindi lang about yung kumikita ka, marami kang pera, pero yung may tinutulungan ka talaga na you create jobs, you help people better their own lives. So doon ako na-inspire. But I went to Philippine Science. So thank you sa lahat ng taxpayers for paying for my education. Yes.
Hi mo naman, baka nandiyan si Chito.
Hi, Chito! Hello!
Shout
Hello,
out.
classmate. Hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung anong batch natin kasi mabubuking ka. At mabubuking din ako. But long ago, I went to Philippine Science High School, and I majored in biology in college. So I'm a biologist. I am an educator. I also teach at the Asian Institute of Management. I teach innovation and entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I started one business after another. Parang serial killer, kaya lang entrepreneur.
Pero binubuhay mo. Binubuhay
ko. Exactly. Tapos, and now I'm an impact investor. So when people ask me, well, what do you do? Well, I only do one thing. I enable people to change their world. Hindi the world. Kasi parang ang lawak naman ng mundo, di ba? But I enable people to change their world. So I only have one job.
Yun.
I do it through my teaching. I do it through shows like this with FQMom, 'di ba? And hopefully one of these days I'll be on another show with your very good-looking sons, right? Um, and husband. Let's not forget the husband. Oh, look at
Yes, the only
this
rose,
job.
ano?
There, well, you could be the only thorn among the roses, malay mo, di ba?
Malay ko, pwede
Outnumbered
rin.
ka. Pwede
Siguro
rin.
kung bad mood ako, yun ang tingin nila, the only thorn. So, pwede mo kaming kwentuhan, Maui, nung iyong childhood money memory naman.
Yung sister ko, happy birthday, Baba. She was the one who, kumbaga, front-facing siya. Kasi nung bata kami, may little girls pa kami, may sales girl uniform siya. Siya yung
Cute!
help sa tindahan, di ba?
Oo.
Oo, tsaka good strategy yan ng nanay ko kasi hindi ka bibili sa bata. Di ba? Di nakita mo naman
Maawa.
di ba?
Di ba?
Maawa ka, di ba?
Child labor.
Oo nga. Parang later, I asked my dad, teka muna, di ba child labor yun? Di ba labag yan sa human rights? Di ba?
Human rights. Ano sabi niya?
Anak,
Hindi,
mo
shareholder
makakain
ka.
hindi mo makakain ng human rights, anak ko. Di ba? Tulungan natin. You have to help the family business. Ay ko,
Okay.
so pang ibang tao pala yun. Pero so, ako kasi, I said, I want to earn a little money also kasi I had a set allowance, which of course they don't just give it to you, right? You have to be doing things like Baba would help with the family business. Ako, I would have to do, things to help also, like, photocopy, diba? Do other things. I said, I want a little more money because I wanted to buy Game and Watch at the time. Sabi ko, magtitinda ako to the workers paglabas nila from the shoe factory.
Okay.
Naubusan ako ng frutellas, ng stock ng frutella. So sabi ko, meron si nanay, yung lola namin, the matriarch of our family, the co-founder of Greg Shoes, meron si nanay sa taas. So, kinuha ko. Yun pala, that was a very expensive European kind of frutella called Sugus that you can only buy in Unimart. Oh my gosh. Pero wise pa rin. Kinuha ko, binenta ko. Pero, so syempre pinagalitan ako kasi ang mahal nun. Pero, ang defense ko naman sa lola ko, pero binenta ko naman ng 2 pesos. Hindi ko naman binenta ng 50 cents. Diba? So in my mind, alam ko naman yung value niya eh. Diba? Kumita pa rin tayo.
Kumita pa rin tayo.
Kumita pa rin tayo. So she was at least, hindi naman niya ako talagang, pinagalitan pa rin
pinalo.
ako. Hindi naman ako pinalo because matalino ako. At least sinabi ko, I sold it for 2 pesos. And the workers naman like, 2 pesos na frutella? Siyempre sa kanila, I'm going to buy because it's the daughter of the owner, di ba? Pero like, sandali lang, bakit 2 pesos to? Tapos tinikman nila, oh my God, halagang 2 pesos nga. So, talagang linamutak nila yung buong can ng lola ko. Sabi ko, oh no. So, yun yung money memory ko na which is very important that you know what, you have to provide good value to what you're selling, but you should also charge what you're worth, di ba? You have to know what something is worth. Maybe, and find a good time to sell.
Nabanggit mo nga na ang tatay mo was the Joker Arroyo.
Yeah.
How was it growing up with Joker Arroyo? Pang-ilan ka ba, Maui?
Ay, ako yung panganay. Ako yung
panganay. Okay.
Yes. And then I had a 50-year age gap between me and my dad. Because my dad had his fun before he settled down.
Late na pala.
Weird ako sa generation ko kasi lahat ng music ko, lahat ng gusto kong Charlie's Angels, 1976. Kaya yun yung hindi ka pa nga pinapanganak, pero yun yung gusto ng papa ko di ba? Right? So I know all the 70s and music. I grew up with that. And I didn't have a TV in my room till I was 26, because as you can see, I really love all of our books. And my parents were big readers. So we were a reading family. Because my dad was trained as a lawyer and as a banker, his attitude really is that when he sees risk, diba, he wants to kill it. Kasi, syempre, yung mommy ko, negosyante yung other side of the family, di ba? So parang kami, it's like, depends on the risk kasi baka naman, di ba, sabak pa rin. So, I actually have a 4-page single-spaced memo from my dad from my first business about why it would never work. Not that he wouldn't
Wow.
support me, Not
But
that
he's
he
just
wouldn't
warning
support
you.
me.
Parang-
He's just warning me.
That's his style. Oo,
That's his
that's Tom's
style.
style. Diba, no? Parang, what can go wrong? Uy, alam mo, ginagamit yan ni Ray Dalio, yung hedge fund manager na parang, what's wrong with this idea? He doesn't like it when everybody says it's gonna work. So parang,
Yes.
okay, what's wrong with this idea? Okay, ilang pages yung memo ni Papa?
4 single-spaced. 4 pages, single-spaced. As a parent, you want to support your children.
Yes.
Pero, you don't want them to be hurt, right? Pero,
Yeah.
so first money tip from me, sa pagnenegosyo, ang pagnenegosyo parang pag-ibig yan. Masaya. Pero dapat handa ka masaktan. Di ba? Kasi sometimes business is not going to go well. Like for example, pandemya, di ba? You have to find different ways. And sometimes even if business is not going so well, it's not bad. Pero hindi naman din siya, booming, 'di ba? Feeling mo minsan peke ka na parang you're just pretending, tapos you feel a sense of failure, 'di ba? Pero wala 'yun, 'di ba? Kailangan like any relationship, your relationship with money is also an evolving one, 'di ba? Nag-iiba 'yan over time, right?
Gusto ko yan yung sinabi mo that's how Joker Arroyo supported you by giving you a 4-page memo. What can go wrong?
Minabuhan ako!
Kaya ng mga experience niya kasi sa martial law.
Diba?
So, ikaw, meron na akong konting tanong, na did you ever doubt that there was something wrong your dad was doing kasi he was in prison?
No.
Wow.
No, I never did. I never did.
It was properly explained to you. Paano yung unang-una na parang hala nakulong si Papa? Paano yun?
I was very young when he was I was
How
still
old
a baby,
were you?
so siguro I was 1 or 2. So I don't really remember.
Alright.
He proudly displayed his other awards like a man beholden to no one but his country, the many other things he got. Nasa tabi lang siya, pero he proudly displayed this picture in prison in his office, no?
Yeah.
And it was explained to me that just because something is not happening to you doesn't mean it's fair.
Wow, can you say that again? We all need to remember that.
Just because something did not happen to you does not mean it's okay. Diba?
Yes.
Kasi, diba?
Oh, so is that like the germ, the seed that made you go for profit with purpose? Na parang hindi lang pera-perahan yan, Kasi masyado kang mulat. Masyado kang mulat na yung tatay mo nakulong. So tell us about that, kung ano man yung first venture.
Well, when I say love for country and love for the Filipino people, I went to public school. And I went to public school with people who did not have the same advantages as me. I mean, pinagsampal-sampal ako ng biyaya. Kung di ako in-adapt ng nanay at tatay ko, I would be a mountain maid. I would be making ube jam, which would be bad because I'm so clumsy, mapapaso lang ako. Diba? So, pinagsampal-sampal ako ng biyaya ng Diyos, right? But yung values namin as a family, diba? Because we would talk about things, and I'm very grateful to my parents for always talking to us like little people, no, and always explaining to us, as not like that all the time. Yung kinakausap talaga kami na what do we believe in, what are our values, diba? Kasi I believe like you do, Rose, that you say in your book na money is really just a tool to manifest our core values, not just we as people, but we as a family. And so it's a big thing where if this is what you believe, anak, then you put your money and your time where your mouth is, di ba?
Uy, so pinag-uusapan natin yan, gusto ko yung di ba hiniram ko sa'yo, i-flash natin yung kanyang poverty in numbers. Gusto ko share natin to sa mga viewers natin.
When people say, who are you trying to help ba? Yung the bottom of the pyramid. Walang bottom of the pyramid sa Pilipinas. We're like Shakira, we have hips that don't lie. So, and that is the biggest part of our country is because ito na intindihan ng mga ano ng mga Amerikano, yung mga socio-economic class D, yung political
Mm.
poor. At tinatawag po silang political poor kasi below the national poverty line po sila, pero may voters ID sila. So, mayor cares
Ayun.
about them,
Ang
right?
nakalagay dito, yan yung when you said political poor, 61%, sila yung
Yes,
$10 or 500 pesos per day ang kita. Paki-explain
per
natin nga
day.
yan. Oo,
Yeah,
per day.
ang
Sige.
kita, ang kita. Tapos, meron tayong poorest of the poor. Ito yung mga under the international poverty line. Lalo
Mm-mm.
na yung mga kumakita ni like a farmer in Lopez Quezon, a coconut farmer in Lopez Quezon only earns 50 pesos a day. Sila yung poorest of the poor. So, and
Okay.
68% of those people are farmers and fisher folk. Yung iba
Okay.
naman, I just want to say because this is a Filipino show, yung 19% na middle class, may
Mm-mm.
tinatawag ako diyan, yung C minus, yung lower C, minsan na
Okay.
tinatawag ng mga economists. Yan ang tinatawag kong purgatory. 'Di ba? Kasi minsan, yun yung feeling mo na hindi ka makaahon. Hindi ka naman, you don't feel poor. Pero parang hindi, parang never ka na makaahon from that level. Parang nasa purgatorio ka. And that's really where I think, shows like FQMom and the books that you write, Rose, really help people, right?
Mm-mm.
So ang goal talaga natin is to become a middle income country, which is to have more and more people in the middle class, 'di ba?
Yeah,
And to
in the
have people with
19%.
decent
Oo.
lives. Opo.
Yes, yes. Sige. So, because of this, ano yung una mong naging venture?
Sige, yung first venture ko, and this is my first mistake because I called it hybridyme. Biologist po ako by training. Nung nasa college ako, parang nainis ako sa lahat ng nakita kong mga innovations na pwede namang to help farmers, to help small-scale fishers, to help businesses, right?
Mm-mm.
To Filipino businesses na nakatenga na lang sa thesis na stuck na lang doon. So sabi ko, what we need is somebody who's like a nerd translator. Diba?
Okay.
So that's what I decided to do. So I became like a professional matchmaker. I would put the
Oh.
businessman and the scientist together, and then I would just make money off their love. Diba?
Mm. Para kang
So
Tinder. Tinder ng mga
para
negosyo.
akong Tinder no, ng mga innovation. So I did that for 15 years. By our metrics, we were very successful in the sense that because our metric has always been, the way we measure our success has always been job creation, eh. Diba?
Yes.
Um,
Yun yung naka 3,500 ka at age
Yes, that's
35.
because I
Oh.
really counted. Di ba? You can't say that unless you really count. It was really job creation, and we made decent money also for ourselves, right? Maybe not 6 times our money, but definitely 2 or 3, 4 times the money we would expected. No, we did that for 15 years. Me and the team. I could have done that for the rest of my life, pero I got really tired of. Kasi when you're a nerd translator, when you're the Tinder, 'di ba? You
Mm-mm.
have to get the businessman and the scientist
Yeah,
together.
together.
And most of the people who have money in this country are OMGs, old mainstream guys. 'Di ba?
OMG. Okay. Old
OMG
mainstream.
guys, right? So
Oh,
they're usually
okay.
men. They're usually of a certain age, right? And they
Mm-mm.
made their money in mainstream businesses, so retail, real estate, even in Cebu, in Davao, and they will ask you, Maui, I like you, I like the idea, but why will I invest in this technology from the University of San Carlos when I can just franchise a Chowking? I got really tired of begging them. You will not only, employ, right, so many people, you will make 4 times your money. You can pay everybody's bonuses, and incidentally, it's good for the planet also. It's cheaper than bribing a DENR inspector. Like what? San ka pa? Di ba? San pa po
Oo.
kayo? Di ba? Come, join us. Di ba? So, I
Yeah.
got really tired of that, which is why I shifted to Ignite, because I said, well then, kung ayaw nyo, I will start my own fund.
How much fund have you raised for Ignite?
Napakaswerte ko, di ba? Siguro, sabi ko, I'll start the fund. And then nagpandemya. Saya-saya. Pero so it's very hard to raise money in the pandemic. It's like dancing the tango in a snowstorm, the backwards in heels, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Pregnant. So, it's
Lahat na
very, very difficult. Lahat
Oh,
na, lahat na pinagsabay-sabay. So, we've raised so far 500,000 US dollars. We're targeting 20 million, and we've invested in 3 companies. So, one of
tell us
them
about
is, yeah, so one of them is called Quicksilver. It is
Quicksilver.
the Quicksilver. So, it seeks to provide satellite internet kasi only 40% of the Philippines has broadband speed internet, 'di ba? Kaya nga ako natatawa pag may Filipinos spend the most time on the internet in the world. Malamang we're waiting for the internet to load, 'di ba? Anong klaseng statistic 'yan? Hello. 'Di ba? Syempre, we spend the most time on the internet. Reconnect, unplug the router. Diyos ko naman, 'di ba?
So,
Ano
paano
ang
'tong
problema?
satellite na 'to? Okay yan, Papaano? How will it work? How different?
Because archipelago tayo, 'di ba? Since mga isla tayo, you cannot crawl fiber through the mahirap, right? And there are
Tubig.
really some in fairness to the telecoms companies, there are places where you cannot enter because it's unprofitable to do so.
Okay.
Hindi ka kikita. So what we want to
Oo.
do with Quicksilver is you put nodes, so each node will be has a range of 10 to 30 kilometers. So for context, if
Mhm.
I put a node in Camp Aguinaldo, yung Netflix sa Pateros, di ba?
Mhm.
Bibilis, right?
Okay.
So once you put down, it's like laying down the railroad tracks, right? When you lay down the railroad tracks, which is the expensive part, you don't care, no? Wala ka nang pake kung kaninong tren yung nasa tracks. Basta magbayad sila ng toll, di ba?
Okay, okay.
So what
So,
we want is we want to
nice.
blanket the country with internet. So that will
Hmm.
help with education, it will help the knowledge channel, it will help with Kumu, right?
Yeah, so what you're saying is pag nalatag nyo na yung mga nodes na yan, kesyo
Yes.
ako si Converge or si PLDT, pwede akong
Of
makidaan? Ganun ba?
course. Of
Hmm,
course. Parang
okay,
sa
sorry.
Skyway. Basta may toll.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Oo, oo, okay.
Wala na
Nice.
kaming pake.
Oo, sige. Okay, tas the
Yeah.
other one naman, ano pala yung fashion brand? Interested ako dun. Yung
Oh, the
nag-upcycle.
fashion brand. So that is the business of my cousin,
Mm-mm.
Dory Almario and I. We upcycle, meaning we get old leather jackets na ukay, and then we
Mm-mm.
turn them into bags, right? So if
Alright.
your sons want a custom messenger bag, we can do that for you. We customize bags, right? But if you
Mm-mm.
want an upcycled bag, a bag that is unique that no one else but you have, Rose, pati
Ganda
like for
yun.
example, jacket ni Papang. I don't know if he had a leather jacket. We can make you a clutch bag, and then the pocket that for his
Nice.
hand was used. It's a heritage thing also,
Oo.
right?
Okay.
Right.
So,
So
yun pala
we
yun.
recycle all leather. It's good for the environment because all of this fast fashion um,
Mm-mm.
is bad for the environment. Plus, it's beautiful, and it
Yes.
really uses our
Bespoke.
our it's bespoke. More importantly, it gives income to our the Marikina shoe and leather cluster, no? Ang pinagkaiba ng science tsaka art kasi is that yung science, kung wala si Newton, kung hindi pinanganak si Newton, may iba na magdi-discover ng gravity. Kung
Mm-mm.
hindi pinanganak si kung hindi pinanganak si Mozart or si Ariana Grande, all that music is gone, right? All that it's gone. That's art, that's a craft,
Puso.
'di ba?
Oo.
And so what we're trying to do is preserve the craftsmanship, 'di ba? And this is something I'd like to do with the weavers,
Yeah.
the weavers in Baguio, the leather craftsmanship in Marikina, no. So marami tayong crafts dito sa Pilipinas na dapat hindi mawala. That's one of my businesses. Not that Ignite invested in that kasi lutong Macau yun. Yeah.
Okay. So, paano yung
Pero
ginagawa mo? Saan ka kumukuha ng funds? Foreign pa ba yan?
so, well, yes, I made the in America. I incorporated it in America. Why? Because I wanted everybody to know that
Hmm.
wala talagang corruption, hanky-panky, kung ano-anong kababalaghan na nangyari, right? So it's an American fund investing money only in the Philippines, and we get money from Filipinos, so doctors, lawyers in the States, no, and in Europe, who want to invest in, so people who have links to the Philippines, corporations, family offices, right?
Paano kung may Filipino fund na gustong mag-invest sa'yo? Hindi pwede. Pwede
Pwede rin,
rin.
of course.
So now that you're saying that profit with a purpose, how much weight do you give to the purpose? How much weight do you give to the profit?
70% to the profit and 30% to the purpose. Why? Because a bankrupt firm serves nobody, right?
Correct.
Kailangan profitable ka. Profitable ka para you can keep helping people, pero dapat naka-embed na yung
Yes.
purpose sa business. For example,
Oo,
one of the
hindi yung
companies
one at a time. Hindi pwedeng one at a time. Sabay na dapat. Ganun yon.
sabay na dapat. Kasi like for example, one of our businesses we invested in is Plentina, right? So this helps the purgatory middle class, right? Because it's a buy now pay later app for Pure Gold, for Isitan, 'di ba? For people who don't have, so C and D talaga. So for people who don't have access to credit cards and really need to buy essentials, 'di ba?
So
It's a
parang
buy
credit
now pay
card.
later.
Oo, parang
Yes,
isang
and you
credit
build
at
your you build your credit score so that you will get better so that's Plentina. And
Okay.
then so the
Third.
impact is already built in. The third business
Okay.
we invested in is called Bioprime. It's a soil conditioner, so like your hair conditioner only for the soil, right?
Oo.
And with the price of chemical fertilizer, and chemical fertilizer is bad, right, for the environment. And now it's so expensive because of the oil crisis, diba, with Russia and the Ukraine. So everything's so expensive. So Bioprime is now not only organic, it actually helps create bigger yields for the crops. So mas malaki yung mais, mas malaki yung crops kasi ginagamit ko
Oh,
yung
wow.
organic fertilizer.
That's nice.
So every time we sell, what that business sells to the farmers, kumikita din yung farmers. We're seeing an increase from their average household income by like 3 to, I think, 7 times because of Bioprime.
Bakit natanggal mo na yung mga gitna, yung mga middle, doon? Parang dumidiretso na. Wala na silang masyadong. Paano napapalaki mo yung profit ng isang farmer dahil mas maganda yung harvest niya. But how about
Kasi mas maganda yung harvest niya.
Oo. Pero na rin ba kayong nagawa about the middlemen?
That's a good question. Yung mga middlemen kasi, not all of them are yung tinatawag na predatory. Hindi naman lahat sila, di ba, mga asungot, right? I mean, you need middlemen to add value, right? But I don't think, I think the current statistics is that there are, between the farmer and us, Rose, I think there are about 24 middlemen. And the problem is not so much the middlemen, pero like yung mga biyahero na, anong gagawin mo? Ibebenta mo sa biyahero, even if, let's say, a coconut is supposed to be 14 pesos, the biyahero is only buying it at 7, di ba? It's either that or you don't sell your crops and then magugutom ka, right? So yung predatory middleman is yung gusto natin, you want to put bad actors out of business, di ba?
Yeah.
Wala pa kaming ginagawa, but we're looking at a good way to find other ways for them to make profit, di ba? Kasi I sincerely believe na wala naman talagang or at least very few Filipinos naman talaga ay gumigising sa umaga tapos like, 'di ba? Sino naman ang pwede kong anuhin today, 'di ba? I think we're generally good people trying to survive, 'di ba?
Yes.
Wala naman.
That's why we need a better future.
Yeah, exactly. Diba?
Meron kami kasing part dito which we call Fausto. Parang fast talk, pero if you really, really need to articulate it more, explain, pwede naman. Okay? Pero mabilisan lang. Okay, game. Are you ready?
Game.
Morning or evening person?
Evening.
Favorite place in the Philippines?
Palawan.
Favorite place outside of the Philippines?
Florence, Italy. Because of the craftsmanship. Yeah, kasi yun yung ng Renaissance. I just want to tell you. The Renaissance around the world was funded by bankers, by venture capitalists and impact investors in Florence. So that's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yan, oo. Original ambition as a child. Paglaki ko, gusto ko maging
Um, Astronaut, detective, tsaka chef. I
wow.
think
So ngayon,
at
pwede
the
mo nang
same time.
panoorin. Oo,
At
ngayon
the
pwede mo
same
nang
time.
panoorin sa Netflix. Parang vicariously, you are all three at the same
Yeah.
time. Okay. Next, most audacious dream.
Um,
I'm sure marami.
I wanted, I mean, syempre, become a good wife, become a good mother, yung mga ganon. Pero yung materialistic fantasy ko talaga, Air Force Maui. Gusto ko ng 747, yung tipong Rose, gusto mo
Wow.
kumain ng French food, magdala ka ng passport. Best. Kasi
Oh, diba?
your plane or mine. Yan yung
Oh,
gusto ko.
diba?
Ayoko yung may stopover. Gusto ko yung matutulog tayo pagising natin, nasa France na tayo, di ba?
Actually,
Yun
yan
yung
yung hassle sa
materialistic
travel.
fantasy ko.
Oh, hassle sa travel, ano? Ngayon,
Oo.
daming
Pero
diba?
may mga ano ako may mga nice dreams ako. Pero materialistic fantasy ko lang talaga Air Force.
Your own, ano.
Oo.
So, yung next ko, hindi naman kailangan connected sa audacious dream. Pero sino ang role model mo?
I don't believe in role models, I guess. I admire many people,
Oo.
pero lahat tayo
Composite.
ginawa ng just unique. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
'Di ba? So, ang
Yeah.
ano ko talaga is parang ang kapal, pero you have to be your own role model. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi you have to respect yourself and you're really unique and you're on your own path, you're on your own growth, 'di ba? And ang competition mo talaga hindi naman ibang tao sarili mo 'di ba? Yung sarili mong kahinaan, yung sarili mong katamaran, 'di ba? Na sana yung tipong, Lord, sapian mo ako, sipag-sapian mo ako, Lord. Di ba?
Oh my gosh, meron ako nakalimutang magawa sa'yo. Gustong-gusto ko to
Oh.
because you were able to speak in 3 different accents. So in the next questions
Oh my God.
gawin mo American, British, and Filipino. Sige
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, ito, tama-tama. Ito, sentence ang sagot dito. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now in American accent?
Well, I don't clearly know which part of America you want me to sound like I'm coming from. In my country, we're vocal mimics, so we talk like a lot of people. It really depends who we're talking to, and then sometimes when we're talking to someone, like we just grab their accent, and all y'all just get confused. But about 10 years from now, I hope I'm not dead. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for.
Ito, yung next ko, kasi parang can be answered by just one word. To kaya lang, you can explain na lang so you can use your British accent. Okay? Single or committed?
Oh, that's such a delicate question. I'm actually quite committed, and I mean that in the sense where I should be committed to an institution, and I'm also committed to a person.
Ang galing. And last, the Filipino English accent. Alam, tawa ako nung napanood ko to sa Tokma, yung This is how we speak English. When you're not thinking of work, what do you think of?
When I'm not thinking of work po, I'm not thinking talaga diba? I don't like to think anymore. After I'm not working, we don't like to think anymore. We like to eat, because in our language, there is no word for hello. There's only, we ask each other, have you eaten? Because food is love. Our food is love. That's why it's so good. That's why we all have diabetes.
Ang galing mo! My God! Pwede na kayo mag-invest, di ba? 3 accent. Okay. So we will go through the next. Mabilisan lang.
Bilis, sige.
Showbiz crush ngayon.
Si Donnie Pangilinan.
May pag gano'n ka pa.
He's so cute! He's so young. Oh my God.
Teenage showbiz crush. Nung teenager ka.
Nung teenager ako, yung bad boy sa 90210. Luke Perry. That's the guy.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Lord of the Rings.
Guilty pleasure?
Coke Light.
Pink or red?
Pink.
Anong luho mo?
Fountain pens. I'm so sorry. Fountain
Most,
pens because
di ba?
go ahead.
Yung
Jen.
pagpirma,
Yeah.
most expensive material possession.
Fountain pen.
Okay.
Fountain
Anong
pen.
weird item ang nasa wallet mo ngayon? Or bag?
A small statue of the sleeping
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. Yes, because kakabigay lang sa akin. It's made from Lahar, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
So kakabigay lang sa akin ng ano. And I said, di ba dapat kasi Maria Antonia ko, sabi ko, di ba dapat St. Anthony? Kasi baka may mawala ako dito sa bag ko. Pero okay lang, St. Joseph, patron saint of good spouses, di ba?
Papaalala na magre-rest daw tayo. And last, what is your biggest fear right now?
In all honesty, and I guess that I can say this kasi alam niyo naman na human rights lawyer yung papa ko, is that I really don't want to return to the days of a dictatorship. Diba?
Yes.
I think it's bad for everybody. So I really encourage everybody to vote according to your conscience, right? And look, suriin talaga natin kung sino yung mga kandidato natin. And I'm not, going to publicly campaign for anybody, but pink or red, I'm pink.
Thank you very much. This has been fun.
Maraming salamat!
Kwentuhan pa tayo kahit off-cam na, ha?